All right, hello, how are ya? And welcome in, everybody, to the very first ever episode of the Vancouver Warriors podcast. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Tino Fera. I'm going to be joined by my two co-hosts in just a moment. We'll introduce them in just a couple of moments here. First, I want to give you a rundown of what you can expect from this show, what this show is, and everything from there. So the name is pretty self-explanatory in this case, the Vancouver Warriors podcast. It's going to be everything about the Vancouver Warriors, kind of bridging that gap a little bit from the fan base over to the team itself. And with that in mind, who better to give us all the insights about the team than a couple of players on the actual team? So that's a good opportunity now to introduce the two co-hosts of this show. It'll be Marcus Klarich. It'll be Owen Grant. And gentlemen, I want to give you guys an opportunity to introduce yourselves a little bit here. So, Marcus, we'll start with you. Give everybody your name, your number, your position, and then we'll go where you grew up and where you played your junior ball.
Yeah. My name is Marcus Klarich, number 14, Vancouver Warriors. And I'm a forward, and I grew up in Burnaby, and that's where I played my junior ball.
Owen, same thing to you.
Yeah, so my name's Owen Grant. I'm number 16 for the Warriors. I played defense, a little bit of transition too. I grew up in Newmarket, Ontario, back east, and then I played my junior ball for the Beaches in Toronto, and I also played at the University of Delaware.
So, you've been living in Market here in BC for a while since you got drafted by the Warriors. Do you consider yourself a BC boy yet, or are you still an Ontario kid at heart?
I think I'm halfway there. I love it out here, but I like getting home too. So
he's not going back to Ontario.
Yeah, the winters are a little more mild here, hey?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Marcus, you as well. Aside from the Warriors, it just got announced recently that you're going to be hopping behind the bench for the same team that you played your junior ball for. How excited are you for that opportunity to coach with the Lakers?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, Burnaby Junior was a big part of my career. Obviously, some of my best friends played with, and I'm lucky enough that my old coach who coached me throughout my minor is going to be the head coach, and then me and Thomas Vella and Josh Gabriel and his brother Jordan Gabriel are going to be helping out. So we all play in the summer, so it's going to be who can go to what. So that's why there's 4 coaches, but yeah, we're all fired up. Practices are going to start soon, so I'm really excited for it.
Definitely. Okay, well, let's get into the big picture of the show here. I want to start off with the Warriors' schedule so far because it's been very start and stop. You guys have had byes, and you have a game on, and then a couple byes in a row into the Christmas season and New Year and stuff like that. And now, including Week 7, you guys are now on a stretch of 11 straight weeks with games. So I want to ask you guys which camp you're in here. Are you in either the next 11 weeks, next 10 weeks are going to be a grind, or are you in the camp of you're happy to be getting into a rhythm here? OG, maybe we'll start with you.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think selfishly, I kind of liked the byes. It worked well for me being from Ontario. We played our last game in Ontario, so I got a few weeks at home that I don't normally get for the Christmas break there. But objectively thinking about our team, I'm pretty pumped that we're going into 12 games in 11 weeks here. Like it's nice when we get in a rhythm. I think being healthy is a big part of that. So as long as we're staying healthy, I think playing week to week is going to be really good for our team.
Marcus?
I am in the camp of it is going to be great to get into a rhythm. I know Owen probably thinks the same way, but whenever we get a road trip, we're all fired up to see the guys at the airport, and because it's not like some other sports, right? It's unique. We don't get to see each other all the time because we have some guys flying in and whatever. So we can't wait to see the guys every single week. And personally, I felt like the first 4 games, it's sort of been out of rhythm for me. Like you said, the bye weeks, it just felt a little bit different. But this was the same start as last year, and now we're going to get into it. And I'm really excited for moving forward. Hopefully we can all get into a rhythm. Our offense is starting to click more now, so should be good.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about Week 7. And there's a couple of different avenues that we can go down here, but I want to take it from sort of the Calgary-specific perspective here, because it's not every day that you get a front row seat and you get to be that close to a jersey retirement ceremony. And there were so many storylines going into that game. And Kurt even said in his post-game press conference that you guys well aware of all these stories, but didn't really want to focus on them too much. The one that you did want to talk about was the Dane Dobie story. Forever Roughneck, his jersey gets hung up in the rafters. When you guys hear about Dane Dobie, I know you guys in the grand picture of the NLL, relatively younger players, so you didn't necessarily get to play a ton against him in your guys' career so far, but in the few games that you guys did get to play against him, what comes to mind when you think about the name Dane Dobie?
That was so cool, that ceremony. I mean, I don't really know the guy. I met him a couple times. Like this summer, I met him in like the intermission of one of our games against Coquitlam, and he just seems like a great guy. And I know the type of player he was, but I only played against him once, and that was towards the tail end of his career. But it was so cool just to see, because you got Dixon, who's like best friends with him, Kurt, who coached him his whole life, and just to see them sort of get like emotional and just watch that ceremony and all of his highlights on the screen there. It was really cool, and especially how their fans embraced him. But yeah, as a player, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves for him. Like he's unbelievable and will forever be a great.
I don't know how many games specifically, OG, that you got to play against him, but in the few that you did, what's it like to defend a guy like that?
Yeah, definitely tough. Tough, especially when a guy like that, you look at him like he's very unassuming physically when you look at him. But, man, can that guy put the ball in the back of the net? Like, doesn't matter how old he is, you knew he was going to find his. And I think it was last year maybe they had an 8-goal game or 7-goal game. Check the numbers on that. But it's impressive to do that at any age, let alone late in your 30s. Yeah, he could do it in so many different ways. But obviously such a great competitor. I don't know him personally at all, but obviously been a lot of fun watching him over the years. And pretty cool to be there in that moment, seeing that banner go up. Before the game, we didn't want to make too big a deal of it, just focus on the game in front of us. But it's pretty cool looking back now. And for me, growing up as a big hockey fan, I think anytime we're in these NHL arenas, looking up and even just seeing the hockey jerseys that are up there, seeing like a Ginla in Calgary and stuff like that, people you grew up watching. So anytime I'm in those arenas, it's really cool to look up and to know that you were there for that moment and what that meant for him and his family. It was a pretty cool moment to look back on, especially that we were able to get the win on that night. Maybe a little different if we didn't come out on top, but yeah.
Well, that's actually kind of a good segue into the next question. What is that relieving feeling like when you see Curtis Dixon score the overtime winner?
How poetic, eh? Yeah. Like you just knew it was going to be him too. He already had a 5-goal game if Corms didn't step in the crease. But
I was on the bench.
About that, huh?
I was on the bench. I think I literally yelled out loud, "Please don't make us go back out there."
Yeah. It was always gonna be him.
Yeah.
Like it was just you. As soon as you saw that little strut, if you watch the video, it's like the slowest jog to the half boards, waiting for baller to pick for him. You knew it was a goal. Just every time, our hands were already up.
He showed off his dad's strength a little bit too by piggybacking you in celebration pretty much the entire way to center.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
awesome.
I was a little worried though because he's a little older, 37. I'm like, I'm going to get benched if I like take him down here. So I got off pretty quick.
You might get benched for calling him old now.
Definitely need to get fined in court.
Okay. There's a new rule that's been implemented into the National Lacrosse League this year for the first time ever. Some people are calling it the Buffalo Bandits rule. Some people have been calling it the Paul Dawson rule specifically. And I wanna give the exact definition of it here because it's been I don't know if controversial is the right word, but it's been kind of a hot button issue here for a lot of viewers and a lot of people in the media regarding this rule specifically. So the rule is 67.16. Essentially, what it is you can't block a shot, while standing in the crease. But the specific wording of it is a defender cannot block or attempt to interfere with the shot from inside their own crease unless the goalie has left the crease. And dunks and crease dives are excluded from this rule. And I think the big reason why it's been a little bit controversial is because while on one hand, like the officials are still figuring it out a little bit, the defenders are very much so still figuring it out a little bit. And Owen, I think you probably know where I'm going with this question is how have you adapted to this rule so far? We've seen it get called against Vancouver once so far this season. It was Brett Mitski against Colorado. He didn't even try to block the shot. He just happened to be in the crease, and the shot just happened to hit him. So, OG, you're the guy who led this team in blocks last year. Does this change your mindset in that regard whatsoever? How have you adjusted to this new rule?
Yeah, I think I'm fortunate that I don't play down low too much. I'm usually a little bit higher in our defense, so I haven't had to think about it too much. But yeah, it's been interesting watching other games because, again, we haven't seen it much in our games this year, but watching other teams, I think I saw Hossack get called for it with Halifax this weekend. Like, it's interesting because guys are trying to turn around and present that they're not trying to block the shot, but they're still blocking it with their back. So it's interesting when it's getting called and when it's not. You definitely are thinking about your feet, though, when you're that low man, especially on the PK. When you have a lot of pressure on you, you have to take away the passing lane while also being in the shooting lane. So it is really interesting and a new obstacle for those low defenders, but we'll see how it kind of progresses over the season, see how many calls we actually get.
And Marcus, from a forwards perspective, I've seen some people say on Twitter and stuff about the idea of if you're a forward and you see a defender in the crease, just throw the ball at him. You know, you might get a power play out of it kind of thing. Is there any validity to that idea? Has that entered your head at all? Has this rule entered your head at all?
In Oshawa once, like there was a guy in the crease and we almost hit them with the ball. And at that point you would yell, but I'm not really like looking for it. I would say like it's so hard to just be like, oh, if I just see somebody run through the crease, I'm going to take a full wind up shot and try and hit them. Like you sort of want to have the possession, get a good look. And so it's sort of give or take. And as far as like, I'm not like the whole time thinking, oh, if I just see a guy run through the crease, I gotta hit him or anything like that. It's pretty tough on the floor because you're so into the game and you're just trying to work with the offense. That's my opinion. I know it's different, but like Buffalo now, for example, let's say like it's the bandit rule, right? Their penalty kill, like they're still doing it basically, but right above the crease, like two guys, and it's like, oh my gosh, how do you get the shot through now? And they're like the tallest guys on the floor. So I mean, it's an interesting rule, but some guys sort of look at it different ways, I guess.
Has there been much communication with the officials on the floor during games? Like, are you hearing them, shout about it, like watch your feet or anything? Are you talking with any of the officials, Owen, about any of this stuff?
I haven't heard any warnings personally, so maybe that would be nice, but haven't heard anything so far.
All right. Well, the next one on the schedule, it'll be week 8 for you guys and for the rest of the league. It's coming up against the San Diego Seals. They haven't necessarily had the best start to the year by their standards, but by no means are they a team to overlook. And this has kind of become a bit of a rivalry between San Diego and Vancouver, and it's country night as well. I know that's kind of a fan favorite and a team favorite as well. What should people expect in a matchup between San Diego and Vancouver?
Yeah, I think if you've watched us over the last 3 years, like this has always been a very close physical game. So that's what you can definitely expect. There's a lot going into this game. Obviously, country night's exciting for the fans, but for us, like a hungry team is a dangerous team. So them coming in, I think they're 1-3, which is obviously not a great spot to be. They're going to be pretty desperate for a win here, and it's also a spot for us on the other side of that to try and start building, stacking wins here. I think that would be 3 in a row for us or 4 in a row, which would be really big for our season. But again, a hungry team coming in, it's gonna be a big one.
Marcus, what do you think?
Yeah, I think they're a great team. Obviously, like maybe they had a little bit of a slower start, but they have some really star-studded players on offense, and their defense is good. They're physical. If you sort of look at it every year, like Owen said, like they're always close games against them. They always come out hot. They have guys that are from here, like they want to play well for their family or whatever. So I think it's just more taking control of our home floor, using the fan support with us, and just working hard like we always do. And this would be nice to keep going. We had that little bit of a slow start, like we lost to them in preseason. We were sort of getting our feet wet together, a lot of new faces, but now I feel like we're sort of on a momentum run here, and if we can keep the rhythm going, that's what hopefully comes on Friday night.
Also mentioned it's country night. A piece of content just came out from the Warriors. Pretty much unanimously, all the guys said that this is one of their favorite nights of the year. Usually a full house. It actually just got announced as well today at the time of recording that the Upper Bowl is being opened up for tickets, which by my understanding, I think that's just the second time that that's happened in Warriors history, which is pretty cool. Should be a good crowd. I want to put you guys on the spot here a little bit. We all know that country night is a favorite. There's usually 2 of them in a year. If you guys could add a theme night to the calendar, what would it be? And be careful with your answer, because the people that plan these things might be listening, they might be watching, so they might be taking some notes depending on what your guys' answers are.
I think I'm going tiki night. I think you could get creative. You could have some cool shirts. Anytime you can have a hat that everyone's going to be rocking, like I think that adds to the atmosphere.
You're such a puka shell necklace guy.
Come on. I think tiki night would be awesome. We can make a pretty cool jersey out of that too.
I don't know. Do we still have that beach night? That was fun. Do we still have, anybody know? No?
Dude,
we don't. So let's go
pay
beach night.
attention to the theme nights.
Yeah,
come on.
because last time we had beach night, Reader went like full beach mode walking in. It was awesome. So I could use a couple more pictures of that. That was hilarious.
Kind of a cop-out answer that you pick one that you guys have done before.
I can't think of it.
That's brutal.
That's a little weak, man. All right. Well, that pretty much does it for the notes for the first ever episode of the Vancouver Warriors podcast. You guys, any final notes to end things out here?
No, I think we're good. That was fun. Thanks for being our big host. A lot of talking, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So next game coming up, guys, is January 16th. Again, it'll be against the San Diego Seals. It'll be country night. It'll be Jake Elliott. It'll be myself, and it'll be Hannah Bernard on the call on NLL Plus. Hope to see you there. Get your tickets. Again, the Upper Bowl has been open, so tickets still available, and it's going to be an awesome atmosphere there for country night. Enjoy the games, everybody.